No? Cole, you need help?
No.
Okay. Hit stat. Oh boy, we're lost already. Go over to tests. And we're going to do most of these throughout the next few weeks. But what we're looking at now is A and B. If you scroll all the way down, there's one prop Z interval and two prop Z intervals. So that is, I mean, it's just kind of named differently, but it fits here. So it's a one, they call it prop because it's proportions, but it's basically a one proportion interval or two proportion intervals. So these are the two that we have worked with so far. So let's start with a one proportion. So what the X means is the number of successes. And what the N means is the number in the sample. So they very often give you a proportion, right? Let's say like 0.7. Like you don't ever put 0.7 in there. You put the number of successes. So if it was 200 people and there were 0.7 successes, you could type in like 0.7 times 200 and it'll tell you 140. But you got to put the number of successes. So don't put a decimal. You can make the calculator figure out the number of successes, but it's got to be the number of successes. So, you know, say there's 300 people. So you guys figure out what's typed in this scenario. There's 300 people. P hat is 0.4. What would go in both of the, like, you know, figure out those two spots. 300 people, P hat is 0.4. Type it in. Well, then wait a second. What? So 0.4 times 300. 300. What is this one?
That's yesterday.
The one you gave me today was today's. This is yesterday's. Okay. And then let's say we wanted to do 95% confidence level. Go ahead and hit calculate. And it shows you that stuff. And there's your interval, but you still have to be able to like back into the blank plus or minus blank. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to write that as the point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. So the point estimate is the average of those two numbers. So 0.34456 plus 0.45544. Should have put parentheses here. And then divide that by 2. So your point estimate would be, I guess we knew that already, didn't we? Point estimate was 0.4. That was kind of dumb with me. Okay. How do I find the margin of error? The margin of error is the distance from the point estimate to one of the endpoints, isn't it? So you would just do like 0.545544 minus 0.4. And that would be your margin of error. So you need to be able to get the confidence interval, which I had, you know, the 0.344456, 0.45544, and also write it as 0.4 plus or minus the margin of error. Questions on how I did that? What I did? Try it out. Let's say P hat equals 0.25, N equals 500. I want the confidence interval, and then I want blank plus or minus blank. So go stat test and type the stuff in there, and then transfer it. So stat tests. This is a one prop Z interval, because I only have one set of data, right? So I'm going to go, like here, I'm going to type in 0.25 times 500. Here I'm going to type in 500. I didn't tell you the confidence level today. You guys just leave it at 0.95? Yeah. Okay. So this would be 0.212 to 0.288. What's the point estimate? That 0.25, right? I mean, you can also find it by averaging those, but it's probably easier just to look at it. And then, how do I find what goes here? It's just like one of those, like the difference between them, right? So 0.288 minus 0.25, for example, so what is that? 0.038. How many of that? Is that good? So for two prop is the other one we've done. So let's say p hat 1 equals 0.4 and n1 equals 200. And then p hat 2 equals 0.5 and n2 equals 300. So go back to stat, tests, and now we're doing a two proportion Z interval. You're just doing the same thing you just did, you're just doing it twice. Again, you can't put a decimal in for x. X is the number of successes. So this is 0.4 times 200. You alright, Maya?
Yes.
A little sleepy?
Yes.
What's the matter?
Not enough sleep.
Oh. I suppose that makes sense, yeah. So how did I get that 80? 0.4 times 200, how did I get the 150? 0.5 times 300. Let's just leave it at 0.95 because we're just trying to practice it, you know. And then it gives you, so this replaces like you having to do the math. So that gives you the negative 0.1884, comma negative 0.0116. But then you still have to be able to say, okay, blank plus or minus blank. They'll do the subtraction in the order that you gave it to them. So if it's given like, so they're always going to do P1 minus P2. So what goes here? Negative 0.1, right? Because you got to subtract those. And then what goes here is you got to find the difference between one of these endpoints and negative 0.1. So that's negative 0.0884. Is that right? Maybe you practice one of those, and then I'm going to give you a sheet to practice them even more. Then we'll be good. All right. Can I erase this? Everybody good? Sometimes they just give you the straight up number. Let's say P1 is 250 out of 400. P hat 2 is 300 out of 410. Try that one. I didn't hear all the words that you said. If it looks different, you probably clicked the wrong one. Is that what you said? Don't fall asleep during the gateway, Maya. That's why. Oh, okay. The gateway. There's a calculus test today. That's called the gateway. It's a very intimidating name. Is it actually? So you just type in 250 out of 400. We don't really know P1 and P2, like the decimal version yet, but it'll find it for us when we hit the calculate button. And then 300 out of 410, we'll just leave it as 0.95. So then it ends up giving you P1 hat and P2 hat. So my interval is negative 0.17, comma negative 0.043, let's say. And then I've got to fine. I've got to subtract those to get this number here because they didn't really tell me. So I know that is P1 hat. So this up here is the 0.625. This is the 0.732. So I've got to subtract those.
I don't like it. Every time I try and type when it's up there, it like goes. Yeah.
So write it down first. Yeah. Yours, so mine's like special.
I guess it's like I just press a button
and it goes away.
Okay.
Yeah, just write it down first then. Yeah. And then, subtract, I would do like this minus this, or this minus whichever one you want. So negative 0.17 minus negative 0.107. So I screwed up the order. This can't be a negative number, so let's just be 0.063. How many got this? You good? Questions? Does that make sense? So do the sheet in front of you. Let's just trying to make you practice it much, put it in your brain. So I want both of those things for each. So I want the interval and then the point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. How many of yours erases it, like Cole was saying? Does anybody leave it there? Yours does not, so some of them do, some don't. It's like, just decides every time. It's weird. Wait, so does your mom work through like U of M somehow? So they can just call her back and be like, we need you at the hospital? Unprecedented.
Yeah.
Is she worried about it?
She said they're doing something with like video conferences, so they won't actually do them.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Chuck, which one are you looking at? Put 100. This part? Did you get the 0.5625? So then you just do 0.565 minus that. Did you do it again? I think you probably just typed something wrong, is my guess. freeze the front while I'm doing the back so you can check. And then if you finish this, or when you finish this, I assigned 2 more con sections on the stuff we just did. So I would use the time to work on that. So the answers to the front are up there. Answers to the back are up here on the table. Once you're good with that, please work on the 2 con sections I just assigned.